Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome to my channel. Let's make a card using a truly classic colour combination that's one of my favourites for sure. I'll be using some products from March's My Monthly Hero kit and the add-ons, plus Cherry Red and Oreo Crunch cardstock from Heffy Doodle. Let's dive right in and cut this A2 panel of Oreo Crunch cardstock with the window cover plate die that was part of the kit for March. You're going to get this ornate window cut out, and I'm just helping to loosen all those small pieces of cardstock. Plus, you get some beautiful debossed detailing on the rest of the panel. I'm trimming it slightly from all four sides because I'm going to mat it onto this A2 panel of Cherry Red. But first, I want to step up the detailing on the panel with gold pigment ink. So I'm using a flat foam tool for this because I want to get just kind of a dry brush kind of look to the panel. So I'll achieve that by gently swiping all over it with the gold pigment ink. This way, that gold will only catch on the highest points of the panel's pattern. It just kind of grabs onto those bits and really highlights the beauty of this die. So I'm using long stroke motions back and forth to avoid adding too much ink onto there, but I am turning the panel occasionally to help me get an even amount all over the panel. Before adding extra to each edge, just to frame the panel up beautifully. I'll set that aside to dry and work on the focal element and sentiment. I've got the main image and one of the sentiments from the set that was part of the premium kit for March. I'm stamping them in my mini Misty onto some Nina Solar White 80 with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I'm double stamping to make sure that I have a really solid transfer. Then I'll emboss in clear gloss as usual. I much prefer stamping in black and embossing in clear than embossing in black powder. I feel like I get better results this way, plus the odd speck of clear powder isn't going to cause much of an issue, but even a single speck of black where you don't want it is really obvious, and that's never a good look. You can tell that the powder is done when it turns clear and glossy. I want to keep my flowers quite neutral as I have the black, gold and red that I want to be the bit that really grabs your attention on this card. So I'm just adding a little light, warm cream colour to the flowers, but leaving the tips of each petal white as that's going to act like a highlight. I started with a lighter shade and I'm going back in with just a slightly darker one just to give more shadow at the bases of the petals. Then the stems and leaves will all be green with a slightly darker shade to enhance those shadows again. I really like this colour combination too. It's really fresh and soft. It's going to look good against the darker and more intense background. I cut both the flower and sentiment with the coordinating dies, and I also cut an extra layer of adhesive foam for each. Now I'm just lining up the flowers onto their foam backing really carefully so that it's definitely in the right place, and then I can remove all of this excess foam. I did the same for the sentiment as well. Now I can work on assembling the full card, starting with adhering that black and gold panel onto an A2 panel of Cherry Red cardstock. This is going to go on to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base, which is an American A2 size for my fellow Brits. Now the other elements are really easy because they already have that adhesive foam on the back. Just peel the release and place in position. I've got my flowers coming in from the right hand side and I can trim off the part that's overhanging. I finished it with some black enamel dots which sit around my flower and the sentiment. I've got them in 3 groups that make a triangle because it's visually appealing that way. And that finishes today's card. I hope you'll give some of these ideas a go, and I'd love to see, so don't forget to tag me if you share your photos. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and if you aren't already, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to have you join our crafty community. Have a lovely, happy, safe, and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.